What is up, you guys? Sam here. Today, I'm going to explain to you the secret to using chart patterns to trade and how I use them. Now, I personally don't have these memorized, and I don't suggest that you memorize them either, because honestly, it probably is going to make it more difficult for you to trade because you're going to be constantly looking for these in your trades rather than focusing on the bigger picture. So do not memorize these unless you've been trading for years and you already have them memorized. If you're new, don't worry about memorizing them. All you have to worry about is learning trend lines to increase the probability of your trades working out. So let me explain what I mean. Now, this is you could say wedge or whatever you want to say pattern, but in my eyes, it's just a trend, right? This has been right around this level. This has been right around this level. So all I'm looking for is a break on either side. This literally could have gone up, but went down. So it went down, shorts were triggered, and you would have caught this big move down, right? Which would have been over a dollar. Over a dollar move down just off of that break, right? But you have to be ready for either side. Let me show you another example of this same little setup. See how it's pretty much wedged right here and went down, and it was descending. Oh, you think it's going to always be a continuation, so you just do puts right here. Let me show you. This is actually on QQQ on the 1 minute, so this looks pretty similar, right? Going down, wedged, pretty similar structure, yet it broke to the upside. All you're using these chart patterns, more of trend lines for, is to confirm your breakouts and to find entries into your trade. So any break of a trend line is likely to confirm a call option or put option. It's very easy to use this to trade. I mean, you even could have used this as a trend line right here. That, it was forming lower lows, and once it broke that and stopped forming those lower highs, not lower lows, lower highs, then you would have entered in calls and caught that big move up. So let me just show you a few more examples that I've already highlighted. I mean, let's see if there's any on this day. Not that many good ones. This day's got this, right? It's moving, it hit there, hit there, hit there, and then it broke out of this trend line you already had plotted once it hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times, meaning that once it broke out, it's likely to shoot up because all of these buyers are like, okay, it's no longer in this consolidation. It's broken to the upside. Buyers are now in control. Buyers are going to enter. But it could have gone the opposite way, right? It could have came down, broken out this way, and sellers would have said the exact same thing. Oh, it's no longer in this consolidation, whatever, however you pronounce. Man, I'm so bad at pronouncing that. And it broke down below this, so now I would enter into puts and catch it all the way down. And these trend lines, if there's enough volume, they will have pretty big moves. As you can see right here, this is another decent one right here, little wedge. Now, once again, another issue with these trend lines is it's pretty much up to you to plot them. It's not like a key level where it's just high. Like a key level, it's just like rejected out of here, key level, rejected out of here, beautiful. But a trend line, is it the wick? Is it the body? And then it's like, okay, now this end, that wick, that body. Like it's never going to be perfect, but you just have to know relative to that trend line that there's going to be a zone pretty much right around this trend line. Like imagine this trend line is like double thickness. Like that. It breaks below both of this. Now, I don't want to overcomplicate it, but get the point. Here's another beautiful trend line that we use. Now, this I don't even know if this is a pattern. Is it even a pattern? Oh, it is. Bearish flag. So obviously I don't care about memorizing them because I'm terrible at memorizing names of things, but I'm good at memorizing the structure of them. But this had potential to go up, right? It's not guaranteed that this formation right here is always going to go down. It could have totally broken up because otherwise, every single time this formation is seen in the market, everyone would be, everyone would win. Everyone would win that trade if everyone knew that, oh, this pattern always goes down. Everyone would always win. So no, it's not going to work like that. You have to see, okay, it broke down below this. So on this candle right here, you could have entered in the puts, cut this move down, and, you know, cut the rest down. So there's another thing to make sure you know. And these trend lines can also be seen on higher time frames. So let's go on the 5 minute, just pretty, you know, not too big of a time frame. But on the 5 minute, for example, let's go like this. Perfect example, right? It's pretty much a little wedge right here. And it's wedging, it's getting into that area, and it broke out. Once it broke out, calls. Would have caught it up. Once again, don't only use these trend lines for your entries, because it's not going to work 100% of the time. Sometimes it'll fake you out, it'll go up, and then it'll go back down and move down. So you always got to use, you know, volume, like other criterias, key levels, etc., etc. Candlestick patterns. Let's go on a higher time frame now. Let's go to, you know, an hour. Let's see what we can see on the hour. It's going to be a little weird because it's not in extended time, because if I put it to extended time, it's going to take me all the way back. But actually, I'm going to go to extended time to make it easier to see. Alright, so any patterns that we see. So, I mean, this is looking decent. Like, once again, it's like, oh, is this a pattern? Is this a trend line? It's like, okay, hit there, it kind of went through there. Like, is it? Is it not? That's the problem with trend lines. That's why key levels I like way better to trade. But trend lines also are great if you can find a perfect setup. Now, I usually don't trade them on higher time frames. I usually trade them on the 5 or 15. But, you know, a bigger time frame like this little trend, you know, it's moving down like that. It's moving down. And it broke out, you know, it's like hitting here, here, here. And then it broke this little trend line, meaning that it stopped this move down. This is also how you can track trends as well. Great tool to track trends. Now, you can also use this on other things, like even Bitcoin or Forex, because once again, it's what other traders are going to use to take trades. You have a little wedge right there. Broke out, you could have got these two candles. Look at this. Once again, not a pattern. Or it could be a pattern, I don't know. But, right, that's the trend lines that you make. And it broke out. Huge bullish candle. You would have caught that candle. Just using trend lines. That's it. Just using trend lines, you would have caught that big candle. That's the power of trend lines, right? Once again, on this day, like, you could have plotted this as a trend line, and, you know, it didn't work out perfectly. But your ultimate goal is to find trends in the market and use the market to your advantage. Like here, we got another little trend. Bitcoin's actually a terrible example. Let's go to Forex. Let's look at Forex a bit. The video's only 7 minutes long, but so far, oh, that's not nice. Alright, so it's got a little wedge right here, right? And it's hitting this little trend line. Now, this also could be a key level. So, I mean, what you could do is be like, okay, key level right there. Broke the key level, broke the trend line, we're in. And caught this big move on that day. And, you know, the best thing to do is find a key level and a trend line, break up both, as well as, you know, downtrend if you're going into puts, calls if you're going into, or uptrend if you're going into calls, and just find the most amount of confluences with your trade, because the more confluences you have, the better chance it's going to work out. Like even here, you can say this is a trend line. You know, hit there, hit there, hit there, and it broke. And you could have caught this whole move up. So trend lines are awesome to use. Now, you don't have to memorize the chart patterns. I highly suggest not memorizing them. I don't have them memorized. At least the names of them, I don't have them memorized. Just because I don't feel like they're useful. I feel like they just do that to make it seem like trading is really easy, when in reality, you know, memorizing them just overcomplicates things. But, you know, just learning how to plot trend lines and plot breakouts, like even this, like, I mean, yes, it did break out. You could have caught that, but, like, look at this. Oops. Broke out, got the whole move up. So trend lines, awesome tool to use. Highly suggest using them in your trading. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you learned something.